I'm Bonnie Spindler here with the American Dream. This is San Francisco. And what do tiny homes, the 1906 earthquake, and today's housing shortage have to do with each other? I'm hoping to connect the dots for you in this session of American Dream. So behind me is San Francisco's #1 tourist destination. It's the picture postcard row of the Painted Ladies. Down behind it is all of downtown. I picked this particular spot because in 1906, the refugees of the earthquake stood right here and watched San Francisco burn. So after the fire stopped, they built tiny homes, earthquake cottages, on the back of their lot. That sounds like a lot like today, with thousands and thousands of people being homeless by fires, and also because way more people are moving to California than we have housing. I wanted to use this moment to bring someone who knows a lot more about this than I do. Her name is Lisa Zahner. She's going to tell you more about that.
Thanks, Bonnie. My name is Lisa Zahner, and I'm a board member with the Bay Area Housing Advocacy Coalition. And we are a urbanist organization that advocates for dense housing with good design near transit corridors, job centers, and commercial corridors.
Does that just involve density, or are there other solutions?
Well, there are several solutions for our housing crisis in San Francisco and in the Bay Area altogether. It involves advocating for more density, also for more funding for affordable housing, and then also providing rezoning so that we can have more dense building. And then finally, to break down some of the barriers that it comes to building in the first place. So we are huge advocates for ADUs, additional dwelling units, in-law units, and just building wherever we can. So people are building in their backyards, people are converting parking spaces in garages into additional dwelling units. And the BHAC really advocates to make legislation so that this is easier for homeowners and developers to build more housing because we have such a crisis. And in fact, the city made some zoning that actually minimized the smallest units possible. I think that we're at 252 square feet. They're called micro units. Very, very small units with a lot of amenities on the ground floor, and people are sharing all of those amenities. You know, here in the Bay Area in the last 10 years, we've averaged 8 new jobs for every 1 new home that is built. And so that's just simply not sustainable. One of the reasons why we advocate for so much housing within all of our communities and denser housing is because our firefighters, our teachers, our first responders, people need to live in the communities in which they work. And people need to be able to walk or take transit to the places where they need to go. And so dense housing helps us to do that.
Yeah. So right after the earthquake, people built little tiny houses on the ends of the lots. They had 2 families, 3 families living in these teeny tiny cottages that we call earthquake cottages.
Right.
Well, I wanted to know if you want to see one.
Oh, I would love to see an earthquake cottage.
This one's really darling. It's an incredible jewel box.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's go see it.
I'm all over it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So are you ready? Here's the inner sanctum. Such an amazing little gem. So what's interesting about these Victorian homes is they almost always had Canary Island palms because they just discovered the Far East. And the koi love to be pet. They give kisses. Would you like to see the inside?
I would.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
You know, people who want the tiny houses, they want the lifestyle of a full house, but they want it shrunk down. And so you have all the amenities of a large house, but in a fraction of the square footage. So here is a beautiful living room, plenty of room to entertain. There's an antique fireplace, built-in TVs, built-in sound system, and it's flooded with light. What's also interesting about this house is Martin Luther King used to come here.
Oh my gosh.
As a child, he was brought here to spend the summer, and he stayed in the front house with his aunt, and he played here all the time.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's a huge piece of history for the Bay Area. So what's special about the kitchen is we have pendants, in-ceiling lighting, we have flood lighting, and of course they've customized all the cabinets for special pull-outs for cans and stuff like that. It basically is a big house in small house clothing. Let me show you the loft. Wow. Isn't it great? It really gives you a sense of the volume. Well, it's so nice to be able to show you a tiny house through the historic lens of the Victorian era. We had housing shortages in the Victorian era, we have housing shortage today. And so it's so nice to see how another era solved the problem. And it turned out not to be a temporary solution.
Oh, it turned out wonderful. It's just wonderful.
It's a perfect house for today,
It
for
really
today's
is.
family.
It really is.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this installment of The American Dream. I'm Bonnie Spindler, the Victorian Specialist. I'll see you again next month.